Welcome back to the Engineered Angler. This is the 5th installment on building this lure. Design, engineering a lure from scratch. So let's go ahead and recap what we already know about this lure. First of all, we know the volume is 17 milliliters. So that means it displaces 17 grams of water. That means that's the upward force. So according to Archimedes' principle, there'll be 17 grams of floating force, right? Buoyant force. The density of the resin is 0.562. That just happens to be my mix. That's with 8% of the glass spheres fillers. The target lure weight is going to be somewhere above 17 grams, and the center of gravity is 3.2 centimeters from the nose. So, all that being said, I can calculate the weight of the lure blank, just the resin lure, by multiplying the density of the resin I'm going to pour times the volume, since this is in grams per milliliters, and this is in milliliters. We end up with 9.55 grams. That's what the lure will weigh without any additional weight, without any of the hardware inside. So we know that the internal wire weighs 0.5 grams. So I use number 4 treble hooks, 3X. They weigh 1.1 grams, and that's with the split rings. So 2 of them, that's 2.2 grams. Now I can calculate the total weight of the lure. I can subtract that from my target weight, which I'm going to call 18 grams, because I like it to be just a gram over neutral. And then I'll know exactly how much weight to add to the lure right off the bat. So the first one should be usable right out of the mold. So adding the lure weight and the hard weight, you get 12.25 grams. And if I want to go 1 gram over my target weight, that's 18 grams. 18 minus 12 and a quarter is 5.75 grams. That is the weight I have to add. So now I'm going to find a lead weight close to 5.75 grams. We'll put it all together and we'll pour the first lure. So let's go over to the workbench. Okay, so if you haven't seen the process of making one of these harnesses from scratch, I'll go ahead and post one of these little tags so you can go and click on the link and take a look at the video I made a few months ago that gives you a full demonstration of how these things are made and how I go from making the wire to making a jig for making a bunch of them. I'm going to measure that 3.2 distance to the center of gravity, and that's going to be just behind that bend, and that's where I'm going to put my weight. So I've had to use a little combination, and it gets me to 5.65, which is pretty doggone close, and that's as close as I really need to get. Now later on, as I refine the lure, I might be a little pickier on how close I get to that 5.75 or whatever my target ends up being. So since there's 2, I'm going to split the difference here and place them close as I can to that center of gravity, which is right on that bend. Okay, there we go. We've got it in there. It's placed in the right spot. I'm going to go ahead and shut her down, and we'll get ready to pour. Okay, feels hard. It's been about 20 minutes. So let's pull it off this holder, and then we'll see how it came out. It's always a little dicey, that first one, to see exactly how much flash you have, how, if anything, moved. That looks pretty good. You can see a little bit of the shading of that lead weight, but that's not a big deal. Okay, that looks really nice. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Let me clean this up, and then we'll put it in a tank and see how well it sinks. Okay, so for the last test, I'm going to show you how it acts in the water. First of all, with no hooks on it at all, it's very slow sinking. I'm just gonna hang these hooks, and you'll see it sinks at a nice moderate rate, perfect for salt water. So that's about a foot per second, which is about what I want. I like the way it came out. For the next couple of that I pour, I'm gonna probably make them about a half gram to 3/4 of a gram lighter, because freshwater needs a lighter lure because it's gonna sink a little faster through fresh water. I'll cast a bunch of them, and then we'll go and try them out on the lake. I made a jig for creating these lure harnesses. This was my original shape that I shaped just with a pair of pliers, and here's one right out of the jig, and you can see it produces almost an exact replica, which makes things real easy. Once you start actually casting these guys, you can just drop these in, get your weights on them, and put a rattle on it if you want to. Here's some photos of some of the arrangements I've already done. I've also gone ahead and done the first batch. I've got 7 already cast, and all I got to do is get a little bit of sanding and painting. Some of them have rattles, and some of them don't. So the only thing left to do is to take the #1 lure, the first one out of the mold, and take it down to the lake and see how it performs. So it's a twitch bait meant to sink slowly, and I can retrieve it with a nice swimming action as well. I gave it a gold green top look, and I put a feather tail on it. So let's give it a shot. Remember, I designed a really heavy wobble into this thing, so I can let it drop and it'll still have that flash, and it should attract some attention. Maybe even, ooh, that was a hit. Really like the way this thing looks in the water. It's a little later, I'm hoping to find some clear water. There he is. That's a lady fish. Come on, release yourself. I don't want you on the deck. You'll just crap all over my boat. There you go. Got a bunch of boats around here, but I think they're doing the same thing I was doing, catching ladyfish. Let's move a little farther towards the river. So I only had time to really put 1 coat of clear on it, and it's already starting to come off from all those teeth. Okay, I hooked something. I think it's a good trout, but I'm not sure. Be really gentle. Oh, come on, baby. I think he's barely hooked. Oh, come on, baby. Stay on there. Oh yeah, baby, look at that. Yeah, baby. That is a good trout. Look at that. Look at that trout. Look at that, he was barely hooked right there. Second one got him good. All right. That's a good keeper trout. He looks like about 18, 19 and a half. That's a good fish. All right. All right, well, a little worse for wear, but this thing's catching fish. Pretty happy with it. I think I really like this color too. Okay, so I'm up in a creek here, about the end of the day. I don't think I'm gonna do much more fishing. This little lure has earned its battle scars. I wanted to show you the swimming action.
little faster, so you can see that it's still pretty stable. You can get it to come back, and even through the waves. Okay, well, that's the end of part 5, and the end of this series of lure making from scratch. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of it. I got a really nice lure out of it. Expect to see some more photos of these as I finish them and put them on Facebook. I'm going to be doing some shorter, quick tip videos for some handy tips and tools around your lure shop. I'll see you on the next video. Nice. Every time.